Good morning, everyone. I hope you all are doing great. So, my dear students, in the last class we have started chapter 9, hydrogen. Hydrogen, whose symbol is H. Okay, in nature it is found in the form of H2. Its configuration is 1s1. Its position is not justified in the periodic table till now, and we have discussed about its some properties. Dihydrogen is the most abundant element in the universe, about 70% of the total mass of the universe, and is the principal element in the solar atmosphere. The giant planets Jupiter and Saturn consist mostly of hydrogen. Next, about the isotopes of hydrogen we have discussed. There are 3 isotopes: protium, deuterium and tritium. Out of this, protium contains no neutrons, deuterium is the heavy isotope, and tritium is the radioactive one. After that, we have discussed about hydrides. Hydrogen form 3 types of hydrides, that is ionic hydride, covalent hydride and metallic hydride. Hydrogen can react with so many compounds except with noble gases. Like ionic hydride formed between S block elements with hydrogen, covalent hydride formed between P block from 13 to 17 but not 18, that is a noble gas, and metallic non-stoichiometric hydride formed with D and F block element with hydrogen. So, dear students, in this class we will discuss about water. Today we will start with water. Water, the symbol of water is H2O. Okay, it is H2O, and a major part of living organisms is made up of water. Like about 65% of human body is water, and even in some plants it has 95% of water. Fine. It is a crucial compound for the survival of all living organisms. It is very important solvent. Very important solvent. It dissolves almost all the compounds, mostly. Fine? Very important solvent. The distribution of water over the earth's surface is not uniform. Water formula is H2. Next is about its physical properties. How it looks. We cannot live without water. So water is a colorless, odorless substance. Water is colorless, odorless and tasteless liquid. Fine? Colorless, odorless and tasteless means it has no color, it has no smell, it has no taste. I am talking about potable, pure water. If any one of the property is not present, which means that water is not pure. Okay? The unusual property of water in the condensed phase, that is the liquid and solid state, are due to the presence of extensive hydrogen bonding. Hydrogen bonding is so much extensive, due to which the melting point, the boiling point of water is high. The dielectric constant is high. The surface tension, it has a high specific heat. These properties allows water to play a key role in the biosphere. And you will be surprised to know the high heat of vaporization, which means conversion of liquid to vapors, and high heat capacity are responsible for maintaining the human body temperature. body temperature due to its high heat of vaporization and high heat capacity. Okay? Due to its hydrogen bonding with polar molecules evenly, some covalent compound can also dissolve like sugar. It is a covalent compound. It is non-polar, but due to extensive hydrogen bonding, it is also soluble in water. Next is about the structure of water. Structure of water. See, I will talk about the simple theory. Oxygen is the middle element. It forms two bonds with hydrogen and it is having two lone pair. Its shape is tetrahedral. So geometry is tetrahedral. And shape is, remove this bond lone pairs, shape will be V shape or bent shape. Okay? It contains two lone pairs. If these lone pairs are not present, this angle should be 109 degree 28 minute, but due to presence of these two lone pairs, it will form 104.5 degree. Okay? This is the structure of water and this bond length will be 95.7 picometer. This is the structure of water. Okay? In the gas phase, this is the structure of the gas phase. Water is a bent molecule with a bond angle of 104.5 degree, bond length of 95.7 picometer. It's a highly polar molecule. And the crystalline form, that is the solid form of water, is ice. This is the structure of water in gaseous phase. The solid form of water is ice. Okay? At atmospheric pressure, ice crystallizes in the hexagonal form, but at very low temperature, it condenses to form cubical structure. Okay? At atmospheric pressure, its structure is hexagonal, but at low temperature, it occupies the cubical shape. Okay? Now, density of ice, very important. If I will ask why ice floats on water. See, ice is a solid form of water and suppose it is the liquid form. Okay? H2O liquid form, H2O solid form. Solids have high density generally, then how it floats on water? My dear students, remember this, whenever the water freezes, in this case by conversion of water liquid state to water in solid state, during the process of freezing, water expands its structure. It has some open holes. If you see the structure of ice, it has some holes. It expands on freezing. Its structure is expanding. So here density of ice, in this case, the density of ice becomes less than that of water. Because for the same mass of water or ice, volume is increased in case of ice. So density is equals to mass over volume. In case of ice, for the same mass, the volume is increased. That's why its density decreases. And so that ice floats on water. And dear students, this property in winter season ice form on the surface of a lake, they provide thermal insulation so that the animals, the living organisms survive. Otherwise, they will also freeze. Okay. So this is very important according to ecological significance, because in winter season, ice formed on the surface of a lake provides thermal insulation, which ensures the survival of aquatic life. Next is about the structure of ice. In the structure of ice has a very random three-dimensional structure. Here the molecules are so much ordered, three-dimensional structure. Okay? And X-ray shows that in the structure of ice, each oxygen molecule is associated with 4 other molecules, which means each oxygen is surrounded tetrahedrally by 4 oxygen atoms. And hydrogen bonding gives ice a open type structure with wide holes. That's why its density is less than that of water. Okay. So my dear student, in this class we have discussed about water. Water is very important component for living organisms. Okay. It is a very good solvent. Its dielectric constant is more. Its thermal conductivity is high. Surface tension is high. It has dipole moment very high. This is very important. And the high heat of vaporization and high heat capacity are responsible for moderation of the climate and body temperature of living organism. It is very excellent solvent for transportation of ions along the plants. Okay. Next, we have discussed the structure of water. It is a bed structure in gaseous phase. In your solid state, it forms ice-like structure. Okay. So my dear students, that's all about today's lecture. See you in the next class.